سبق فكرتوا شو هي أسرع طريقة لبناء كبائن مؤقتة لحدث معين أو حتى بناء منزل دائم على جزيرة ما مثلاً؟ الحل هو المباني مسبقة الصنع يلي بتقدمها المسعود بيرغم. ولكن شو هي المباني المسبقة الصنع وشو هي المسعود بيرغم؟ المسعود بيرغم هي شركة إماراتية رائدة تابعة لمجموعة المسعود بأبو ظبي. بتقدم المسعود بيرغم منذ تأسيسها عام 1978 حلول المباني مسبقة الصنع والبيوت الجاهزة اللي بتعتمد على أحدث التقنيات وبتتميز بأنها مستدامة وصديقة للبيئة. ويمكن تصنيع الوحدات السكنية الجاهزة بموقع البناء أو خارجه، والالتزام بتصميم ثابت أو مخصص حسب متطلبات العملاء، واعتمادها كمباني ثابتة أو متنقلة، وتأجيرها أو بيعها، وتوفيرها بالأماكن البعيدة اللي بيصعب الوصول إلها مثل الجزر والمواقع البحرية. وعلى الرغم من وجود المباني مسبقة الصنع منذ وقت طويل، إلا أنها اكتسبت شعبية كبيرة مؤخراً مع الحاجة لأماكن الحجر الصحي والمستشفيات المدنية المؤقتة مع تفشي جائحة كورونا. وتعد حلول المباني مسبقة الصنع أكثر كفاءة بنسبة 40% على الأقل من أساليب البناء التقليدية، كما أنها أسرع وأوفر مادياً. حنقوم بجولة داخل المسعود بيرغم وحنشوف بأم عيوننا كيف بتتصنع وبتتجمع المباني مسبقة الصنع، وحيرافقنا بجولتنا الخبراء بهذا المجال. أول حوار إلنا مع يانز مدير عام المسعود بيرغمز. يانز، وين نحن اليوم بعالم البريفاب، يعني المباني المسبقة الصنع، وشو المستقبل قدامنا؟
In this region, of course, we need to introduce more from the modular construction of prefab. There's other areas on this world, on this planet, where the prefab is already far ahead. In the end, we have areas and places in this world which automate more or less completely modular construction with a handful of people. Here now in this region we use more labor, we use more hands, and now we need to turn this around into this approach. Where the future is in the end for this region is saving time, assuring a certain quality, and in the end try to reduce cost. This is where we, especially as Masaood, going for from the Bergum side.
يعني نحن عم نشوف عالم البريفاب أو المباني والكبائن المسبقة الصنع نستخدمها كتير هون بعالمنا، بس بنشوفها بأحداث وبأماكن مؤقتة، وكأنه يعني الناس شوي عندها تردد على استعمالها دائماً. شو اللي برأيك ممكن يخلي استعمال البريفاب أكثر شيوعاً، أو إذا فيني استعمل كلمة يعني normalize استخدام البريفاب؟
There's multiple things. Of course, certain laws need to change from the regulation, from the code. Bergum is concentrating on temporary facilities, as you mentioned. I think we need to introduce it now as well into residential business. And hospital, hotels, right? But not as a perspective as temporary building, out of the perspective as a permanent building.
شو أكثر اعتقاد خاطئ حول عالم البريفاب؟
Prefab and customization is misconcepting. In a prefab we can customize. I don't say we can't, but we need a certain standardization to gain the benefit for the client. If I don't follow this, I have no benefit for the client, which I give to the client, like cost saving, increasing quality, and time savings. A lot of people, a lot of clients coming to us and asking in the end to develop something in minimal time, which can only work if we work together with designers, architects, and with the client, which was in a very quick turnaround because we prefabbed a lot here in the factory, and we were able to deliver quickly, and we saved a lot of time on site.
شو هن السيكتورز، شو هن القطاعات يلي بيهتموا أكثر من غيرهم بعالم البريفاب، وإذا فيك تسمي لنا بروجكتس كبار، يعني أكبر بروجكتس للمسعود بيرغم.
Masaood Bergum is doing a lot in the oil and gas industry, with temporary accommodations, offices for huge projects from ADNOC, for example. This is a majority what we did, and this is under the hood of the cabin. But we as Masaood, we want to bring it to the next level, which is walking away from the cabin understanding to an understanding of real modular construction. And we are not talking about now only this sector. We want to cover all applicable sectors, which is residential, which is in the end hospital, hotels. This is not only limited to this one. And we need to work together with consultants to reach this goal.
سمي لنا شوية projects.
We did a lot projects direct for ADNOC distribution, like the C-store. When you go into Abu Dhabi, not only Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Sharjah, Ajman, and you see this blue, round, looks like an air wing from the airplane. This is done by us. We did multiple in this region. Then, for example, Saipem. Currently, we work for Saipem together with ADNOC, which is a huge oil and gas camp. We work with Samsung. We work with Hyundai. We have a lot of very famous clients, but in the same time, we work a lot for the private offices, as well for the government, right?
يانز، أنا هلأ أخذت فكرة جنرال عن المسعود بيرغمز وشو بتعملوا، وعن نحن وين هلأ بعالم البريفاب، وشوي شو في ناطرنا بالمستقبل. بس هلأ حأطلع عن جوزيف لحتى يخبرني أكثر عن الديزاين، وبرجع لك على البرودكشن. جوزيف، بالأول خلينا نحكي عن الديزاين وعن أنواع اليونت. يعني الديزاين بيختلف حسب نوع اليونت، ومثل ما بعرف في يونتس هن سنجل تريد ومالتيبل تريد، ما كتير بعرف شو يعني، فخبرني.
هو الديزاين ممكن يكون بأسلوبين. أسلوب الموديولر لما تكون الوحدة مجمعة كليا أو جزئيا، أو إن الوحدة تكون عبارة عن panels panelized، عبارة عن أجزاء مسطحة أو أقسام بتتجمع بعدين. دولت هم أكتر نوعين من التصميم انتشار في المباني سابقة التصنيع.
نحن بنفكر إنه البريفاب بيكون عنده ديزاين فيكست، بس مع الوقت عم نعرف انه الكلاينت بيقدر يشارك بالديزاين. هلا ما بعرف قد ايه بيقدر يشارك، سو خبرني قد ايه في فلكسبيليتي، يعني عندنا فيكس ديزاينز وقد ايه في فلكسبيليتي للزبون للكلاينت للعميل انه هو يحط الديزاين اللي بده اياه.
البريفابريكيشن اسرع شيء لي اللي هو الكاتالوج دريفن ديزاين، بس في امكانيه ان الكلاينت يعمل حاجات كاستم،
وفي من سكراتش ولا بغير من ديزاين فيكست اوريدي.
ممكن يغير على ديزاين فيكست، ممكن يبقى في شيء فروم سكراتش.
بس قديش بس بيكون حلو الديزاين؟ يعني سوري اذا عم بسال هيك، يعني البريفاب يمكن براسنا انه الديزاين شوي هيك محدود، قد ايه في يكون الديزاين حلو ومودرن وشوي بيشبه المباني الثابته؟
احنا نفذنا مشاريع كتير لكلاينتس، فور اكزامبل حاجات ريزيدنشال لحد كبير ما تقدريش تفرقيها من مفردات الديزاين عن المباني التقليديه. البريفاب عامه بيتميز بالمودرن لوك.
يانز أنا رجعت لك لحتى نشوف هلا البرودكشن وهينا لابسين وجاهزين. يلا.
Very good. Here you can see the coils we need to create with this machine we will see soon. The profile which I show you for the AGS system. AGS means light gauge steel. This gauge is the thickness of the plate. When you can see this here, right? The gauge is in the end one layer, the thickness, and this here is currently below 1 millimeter.
مثل ما عم نشوف هلا في عنا كذا layer فوق بعضهم.
Yeah, layer by layer by layer, which gets fed to the machine. What I show you now. Here in this facility currently we have 3 machines. In total we have 6 machines which are CNC controlled. There's a special software which in the end is generating each of these members. This is a code forming machine where as per requirement we have a special software which in the end defines each layer of an AGS wall which comes out then out of this machine. The coil I showed you before,
the one there,
gets fed in the back of the machine, and cold pressing, the machine is cold pressing and forming this plate into shape, as well punching. Now when you see this here, you can see this is as per certain project, and the machine does all what you need. This is for a screw, a stud comes in here, gets screwed, and then in the end we're creating an AGS wall. This calls AGS, light gauge steel, cold formed.
هي الكلمة اللي ما كنت عم بقدر احفظها. AGS.
Light gauge steel. This is in the end mentioning the steel here. Because it's very thin, you can feel it, and very light. You can carry it easily.
Actually عن جد خفيفة.
This is a very light wall.
هلا كنت عم تقلي انت انه
there's no sharp edges, nothing, right? Even this one, but be careful, is not sharp. See? Now I show you how they do the walls, right? As you can see here, this is a requirement for a wall which is put on a trolley.
Okay.
Now they take each part and they starting assemble it. And as you can see now here, the punching holes which I showed you before is in the end to stick in now a stud, and they put a screw in to fasten it, to fix it together.
شغلة كتير مهمة إنه هيدول هن جزء من الوالز يلي بيكونوا بأي مبنى بريفاب. قد إيه هيدول بيعزلوا الحرارة؟ يعني قد إيه هيدول بيتصدوا لكل الأحوال الطقس، إن كان هواء، إن كان شتاء، إن كان رمل.
This is a non-combustible material, which means it will not burn nothing, right? Then it's galvanized, right? Which means in the end, this wall of course is non-destructible. And how we put the wall together with an assembly, including, let's say, if you have a higher wall, I would put a bracing in for force coming in the end this direction. This gets calculated. The software we're using to create this wall is as we're always calculating the structure when it comes to wind load, when it comes to point loads, and all this has to be laid out, seeing the whole building.
سو هلا فرجيني شو اللي مزبوط بيعزل الاي سي بقلب الوالز، وشو اللي بيحمي اليونت من اي شيء بيصير بالطقس.
Here, when you turn around, you can see this, right? We have now an assembled wall structure, and now we're putting the outside sheet. This is cement board. This is actually cement.
This is cement.
Yeah, this is fiber reinforced cement. It gets pressed automatically with a machine. We buy it like this, and this is a very hard sheet, which in the end protects from the outside. This is waterproof, right?
Okay.
Which means no water now can come in, and this one anyway is as well non-rusting. This is galvanized material. This is not rusting. Where you can see that we here building, as per Bergum system, we're building 3.60 m long walls, which gets connected later to a long wall, right? This is here, you can see the next step, where now we added multiple walls together to create a 12-meter long wall. 12 meter is the loading capacity.
Loading.
From the trailer is 40 feet. Yeah, if you know sea containers, the longest sea container is 40 feet. Right? Which means 12 meter is a limitation of the trailer for shipping.
Okay. قديش هون بتعملوا اسمبلي؟ قديش بتجمعوا وولز وقديش بضل في قسم بينعمل عند الكلاينت؟
We assemble as most we can in the manufacturing environment, which is unique. No one else is doing this here. We will not put it together, we put it together on site.
Okay.
Which means in the end we finish all works in the factory. We ship the separate independent wall, put it on a trailer upstanding, send it to site, and assemble on site with a crane. The crane will lift this from the trailer, put it in the right spot.
Okay.
Next wall, put it in the right spot. We want to cover as most segments we have on the market, which has circumstances.
باي ذا واي شو هيدا مبين لي مثل فوم مثل كوتن، فيني ادقره؟
This is glass wool, where we have different insulation material. It can be glass wool, it can be rock wool. This is made out of glass, out of minerals. It depends what a client wants to spend in this house and what budget he has, right? We have as well walls made out of PU foam, sandwich panel.
Okay.
This is our standard. If a client wants something else, of course he can pick it.
هذا بيساعد على العزل؟
Yeah, this is for the isolation in the end to keep the AC cost down, right?
Yeah.
Especially in the summer. Which means in the end we finish everything. Here you can see MEP. For example, here is for plugs or switch, which we finish all. As soon we put here sheet on, they router this out, and we finish this complete wall. Here you can see an example how a finished wall looks like. After this one it goes out for painting.
اوكي. خلينا نروح نشوف البينتينج لكان.
Let's go to painting. Okay.
شفنا هونيك الوولز وجينا هلا بعتقد على البينتينج.
Yes, as a next process I explained to you, we lift the wall up, right? Then we have soon mobile storage here, where this wall gets feeded in. We do the painting, we install MEP, plugs, switches, we install the doors and windows, and then this wall is ready for assembly outside in the yard. Here you can see now the floor component. This is called joist, and in the assembly now we put in the 3.60 m long floor component, which gets installed when you have, for example, a ground floor and the first floor. Here,
Okay.
we show as the next step, we install 18 millimeter cement board on this assembly. Here you can see how they install this one. As soon as this is done, we ship it outside on an assembly yard. What you can see here now is
Wow.
the assembly yard.
وصلنا على آخر بارت اللي هي التجميع، ومن بعدها بتكون اليونت جاهزة لحتى تاخدوها محل ما بدها تكون عند الكلاينت.
Now, when you see here and here, we have different skids, which is a base to assemble the walls on top of it, right? We have one steel and we have one out of the AGS models I showed you before. Now we're putting these floors together with 80 millimeter cement board on top of it, on a joist, or if you walk down here behind you,
Yeah.
you can see now the same steel skid, plus in the end another layer of AGS on top of it with 80 millimeter floor. Now they're merging the wall. These are the walls what I showed you before in the last stage, painted. And you can see that even the outside is done, right? The facade is finished. Now wall by wall gets assembled. We screw it from the bottom to fix it to the skid.
شو بيصير بعدين؟
Yeah. After we assembled all the walls, we assemble the windows and doors. In this stage, for now, we do all the interior finishing. The final result, in the end, you can see here. When merging the skid, the walls, and the roof
Wow.
modules. This is now a normal cabin, standard size, 3.6 by 12 meter, which is used, for example, oil and gas for accommodation, right? And this is how we deliver in one shot on a trailer, which I show you now, how to lift this whole thing up, right? Which you can see now here. This unit we hooked up to demonstrate you how we move it up.
اليونت جاهزة، رفعت على التريلر وحتتاخد عند الكلاينت لحتى تتثبت. آخر سؤال لك قبل ما أتركك، once توصلوا عند الكلاينت كيف بتثبتوها بالأرض؟
Very good. As a standard, we deliver precast foundation blocks, which go earlier to site, gets installed, ready in the end when we deliver now the cabin. And then we put the cabin on top of the foundation blocks, which are already done, and the job is finished.
Thank you very much, Jens. We really learned a lot about prefab today. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. It was a pleasure. Take care.
بيّنت دراسة حديثة أجرتها ماكنزي أنه بحلول العام 2030 يمكن للمباني والمنشآت مسبقة الصنع بأوروبا أنه توفر عشرات ملايين دولارات. فهل يا ترى حتشهد المنطقة هون تحول أكبر إلى المباني المسبقة الصنع؟